Okay, in case you're wondering, a virtual sharp is a situation where, like, they had two lines and they did a fillet on it, and but you select the fillet and it's got the sharp point, because the dimensions are still going to that virtual sharp. So that's what a virtual sharp is. So, originally they had, this is the one they already did, and I was just going through the tutor on how to, how to make this, just to see if there was anything interesting in there. Um, See, right here is a virtual sharp on this fillet that they created. So, they still have this dimension going to. God damn, I guess I'm stuck with their stupid dimension styles. Anyway, now this was rather interesting. I drew this extrude cut here, but they basically had me select the dimension and go and do a pattern. Okay, but for the direction, they had me select that dimension, so that was, again, kind of unusual. Change the direction on it. They're having me, select the geometric pattern option, which by default wasn't selected. That says it speeds up the creation and rebuilding the pattern. Individual instances of the feature are copied, not solved. So, I guess that works, in simple situations, and this is a simple situation. This is kind of cool, tools, equations, but you got the dimension view, so, that actually shows you, like, all the dimensions, in your part here. So, sketches view really doesn't show anything in equations, neither does this. This is just the basic equation view. But, tools, equations, it's not worth, showing a toolbar for it or anything. Okay, we're going to add an equation by clicking that angle, because they had me double click this before I started this equation editor. And let's see, divided by that number. Okay. Yeah, pretty much is how it's supposed to look. I'm supposed to click OK. So they had me create this in an odd kind of way. Of course, now we should have our equation under this folder. Anyway, they had me create this in an odd sort of way. See, it's now equation driven, but they had me, uncheck the equal spacing and set this to 120 degrees. Now, of course, hypothetically, I could have also done this in the, by actually clicking on the dimensions and doing it in the dimension edit box. Okay, now they're going to have me test the equation just by clicking on this, and you can see what the instance. I'm going to click the number of the also set it to 4. Didn't seem to do shit. Funny enough, it's set to 4 there. I don't see 4 instances. This fucking figures. When I make a video about it, it doesn't work. Oh, shit. It didn't work because I double clicked on it, so apparently that's a big no-no. So I'll show you what I did. Double click on it. If you can find the number there, just single click on it and put like 5, for example, and then it changes the dimension there like 72 degrees. So but I was double clicking on it, and for some reason it didn't like that. So in fact, I just have to single click on this really, and this shows up. See, if I double click, this comes up, but I can't change that to 6 that way. I mean, it changes the fucking value, if that's still got 5 in it. So it says 6, but I don't know. Apparently there's a bug in the goddamn thing. So I can change it to 4. Now I can change it to 6, but yeah, I mean, apparently it won't work, if you double click on it and do it in the dimension, so that's pretty fucked up. Now if I go edit it in the, in the circular pattern box, it at first doesn't respond, but when you hit OK, it does. So if I, go edit it here, I can still change it here. It won't show up until you hit OK, though, but it does recalculate it based on your formula. But anyway, like I said, I can, should have been able, without having to go into the equation editor, just entered it here, which is pretty much what you're doing, because I should have just, been able to click that number, here, say enter 360 divided by D1 pattern, by selecting D1 pattern. So, but at any rate,